Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching. This is the Woolpatch Show with me, Stuart, from my shop, the Woolpatch in Long Melford, Suffolk, UK. And as always, in the YouTube chat, where I can see beavering away is producer Fizz, welcoming you all in. So many of you, great to see. I've got another screen with the chat open too. And she's keeping you all in check as we go through the hour show. Maybe a little bit more. We will have all links put in. So if you're watching and you're going, oh, that's lovely, don't worry. Fizz will put a link into it and you can find whatever it is. And at the end of the show, they'll get put either into the description or a comment below because she's brilliant like that. It's another Sunday here in Suffolk. It's blowing a proper hoolie. Fingers crossed the little tin can with the wire to New Zealand is still in place. Let's have a look at the comments and see who's in. Lots of people. Valerie's in. Jimbo's in, I see. Beatrice. Hi, everyone. Looking forward to the show. The podcast with Jimmy during the week. Good to hear. I think I might have got my sound issues a bit low on Jimmy on the first one, but it will be better for the second one. Lovely to hear that and see that comment, Beatrice. Thank you very much. Antonio, evening. Dinky Craft is in. Good to see you. Wonderful. And there we go. Oh yes, this is the poll. Shall we have a look at the poll? After Sunday's great show. I really enjoyed Sunday's show. If you missed it, go on to the channel and you can see it was a very informal show. We just turned up and we were talking about all my whips for Finish It February. What was a yay, what was a nay, never to be seen again, and what went into the cupboard to be thought about next year. And we had a good old chinwag for a couple of hours. So I said there, right, who went counting all their whips after last Sunday's Finish It February? Ooh, that's quite close. End poll. Ooh, what was that? It's disappeared. It's gone. I think it was close. It was like, what was it? 48%, 58. Yeah. So Valerie says, counting whips should be illegal. This is a time of self-care, not a time of self. That is very true. I know we had a giggle doing that. Oh, where's my mouse gone? It's gone there. Actually, Valerie, Fizz says we should count how many projects to start. That's a positive one. Fizz just sent me a message of her bags, of all her projects ready to start. They look beautiful. They almost look too good to not start. Fabric ones with all the fabric in and the patterning and everything. So maybe we should do that one. James, yes, it's soggy with you too. Hello, Margarita. Oh, yeah, are you still an hour ahead? 9 o'clock for you. Good evening. Oh, yes, there you go. Good evening. Jenny, hey Jenny, hey Anthony. Oh, look at this. First time watching this. Looking forward to it. Enjoyed watching Stuart. That's great. I did enjoy doing those shows with John. Great to have you, Anthony. Hope you enjoyed the show. Good evening, Sue. Papa's is here. Julie. Hey, Julie. How are you getting on with your fundraiser? If you follow Julie on Instagram, I was meaning to do that. I need to do that for your Alzheimer's knit along. I will do that. You'll see that pop up soon. I know you were nearly at your target. Lovely to see so many here. So the idea of this hour show is we have certain time slots where we have the guest a year coming up, we have the gallery coming up, and the start of the show, before we have our little show starter, we've got a little promotion to show you, and we had one last week with the blocking board. This week's promotion, if I push a button, is the crazy Zauber ball, and there it is. It's finally. Yes, finally popped up there. And if you don't know what the crazy Zauber ball is, look at these. Oh, aren't they adorable? This is by Schoppel. Crazy Zauber ball. Zauber is magic in German, so it's a crazy magic how it works up. I have got loads of new colours in stock. This month's promotion is for channel members only. All those W's you see in the chat there. And Fizz, haven't we got a lot of yellow W's appearing now? She says, Look at them all. It's brilliant. And actually, we welcome a new member too, Anne Brown. Thank you for subscribing to becoming a channel member. So if you like 4-ply fingering weight wool or sock yarn or shawl yarn, because these are delightful for shawls. I love these with any Stephen West shawl. This one is the brand new colour that's just come out. It's called Italian Sunset, and it's sort of reds, purples and burgundies. But this one is one of the best sellers, Little Fox oranges. But if you do like a Zaubable, channel members, you've got a whopping 30% off. I did a special little email to you, and if you want to, you can type that in the checkout and get 30% off. It's reduced from £17 to £12. What's that? £5. A great saving. And because I don't hold much stock on Zauberballs, if you wanted more, say you wanted to do the Botanic Shawl by Stephen West, which is a great one, and you want 2 of those, and I haven't got them in stock, you can always just send me an email and I'll order it, because the distribution centre for Shopple and Lang is in the UK. So it's really easy to ship from their distribution centre to me, and then from me to you. So there we go. Special channel member promotion just for you lot right now. Let's get rid of that. Yes, right. Are you ready? Shall we try? We're going to see if the telephone wire is working all the way to New Zealand and Kiwi James. I'm just looking at my screen here and he's appearing. Oh, yes, great. So in theory, this should work. There he is. Look at you, James, in your Wool Weekend beanie. How are you, James? Good to see you. Are you up to your eyes with all the organisation of the Wool Weekend? Can you spare 5 minutes to chat to us? Right. Did I hear anything?
Am I on mute?
Oh, right. Now, because we did do a tech before. Right, say hello again, James. Let's see if I can get your volume up a bit higher. Go again.
Hi, everyone.
Right, hang on. You can, oh, brilliant. That's right. Yeah, they can hear you loud and clear, James. It's great. So first things first, James, can you tell us how to say the Wool Weekend in Maori and your beanie in Maori? We want to hear it. Go on, go for it.
Te Hupanui.
Te Hupanui. Got it. Okay.
And there's accents over the U and the E, so you stress out that vowel. So it's Te Hupanui.
Te Hupanui. Got it.
Yeah.
And the Wool Weekend, I got my rapper and my papas all muddled up. Let's hear you say the wairarapa.
It's all about how you roll your tongue around the R's, so it's the wairarapa. Wairarapa.
Well, I can roll my R's from the Italian. Wairarapa?
Yes, wairarapa, yes.
Oh. Now, can you give us a twirl of your beanie that you're wearing? Because I'm loving those colours. That's a 2-colour version of your pattern, yeah?
Yes. I'll just quickly segue into another little bit to explain a bit better in terms of our little festival, the Wairarapa Wool Weekend. We're basing a little bit on Shetland Wool Week. And so we're stealing a trick out of their book by having a beanie pattern. And part of our festival is that we're celebrating the wool industry, and we have it in a different wairarapa town every time we hold it. So we're going to hold it in Greytown or Te Hupanui for the first one. But we're also going to celebrate each time one part of the world or a country where people have emigrated to New Zealand from, and celebrate the crafting culture they brought with them. And we're starting off with Shetland. So when we designed this hat or this beanie, we wanted to incorporate Shetland as well as New Zealand. So we've got 4 different colorways we planned for the hat. 2 are in New Zealand wool and 2 are in Shetland wool. So the one I'm wearing is actually a New Zealand wool. It's in a merino by
Oh,
Ashford's. A lot of people over there might know Ashford from all the spinning wheels and loom equipment and weaving equipment. Yeah, it's the same company. It's now in their 4th generation of the family running it, I think.
oh, wow.
But this one here is the 2-color version using New Zealand merino, which is quite good. And when we did the Jamisons of Shetland version, we just went for some of their natural colors. So,
Oh,
whoops,
yeah,
working
you
out
got
which way to hold it.
it's right. Get your left and your right. Oh, that's cracking. Oh, well
And it's
done.
all about symbolism too. So the design itself is merging Shetland and New Zealand together as well. So the row of flowers is actually a Shetland flower called the monkey flower. And I chose the monkey flower because it's quite special. For botanists, it's quite unique. It wasn't native to Shetland, but when it was introduced, it changed its chromosome count to be able to adapt to the environment. No other plant has done that. But for me, it was quite symbolic of what our festival is about, in terms of it's how we transplant ourselves around the world and how we have to manage and cope to hold on to what we know and learn everything about the new environment. So it's quite clever. And to mix it with New Zealand, we've now got what we call a koru design. Whoops, I keep going the wrong
It's
way.
hard, isn't it?
Um, and so the koru design means new beginnings. And we thought that was really quite special for our first event, because we're calling our first event the first muster, keeping in with the wool and sheepy theme with it all as
Love
well.
it.
And the koru design is quite dynamic. For some people, it's the waves crashing on the Wairarapa shore. Some people think it's Viking horns. There's all sorts of things you can read into it. But what I quite like also is when you look at the negative space between the korus. Whoops, where
Okay.
am I going?
Yeah.
There's actually a bird diving into the water to feed.
Absolutely. It's coming down like that, and yeah,
Yeah,
nose diving. Love
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Do you want to see
And
mine so
we did
far?
2-color version, and we also did a 4-color version as well. So this is the Shetland 4-color version.
Now, I've been using some of that inspiration with the 2-color. So if I show you mine so far, where is it? Let's go to here. Let's move the Zauber balls out of the way. So
Stuart, it
I've
doesn't look finished.
oh, no. Oh, I was so nearly there. It would have been finished. I spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday doing it. Where are we? I've pressed the wrong button there. And I just got my colours muddled. So if I go back to it again, and let's just zoom a tad. So I'm using pretty much 3 colours of Malavan blue. So I've got that nice fade there. So my background colour and colour with the white, and then a subtle colour. And that worked okay. And then my flowers, did you call it the monkey flower, did you say? Monkey plant.
That's correct.
Yeah. And I had the waves done, but I sort of boo-booed with the colours. I'm not very good. I put blue as the wave, forgetting that the background was blue. So I had the background merged into the wave, and then the white, which is the negative, as you say, as the bird coming down. No one could see the wave, and the bird didn't look like a bird, it looked like an anchor. And it was frustrating me. And I was like, do you know what? I could just finish and do the crown, but I'd be really unhappy with it. So I think it was,
So it was a
where are
knitting
we?
wipeout.
Yeah, so Friday ripped it out. So now I'm going to have a white background, so it will definitely change, and it'll look therefore like a strip, won't it? and then I'll have my blue wave, I think. Or I might have my blue background and have a white wave. I suppose the white wave could be the frothy bit, couldn't it?
Oh, it could. I mean, when you see the pattern, it's just we give you examples of 4 colorways you could do it in, but it's totally up to you how you want to vary that and changes you want to make to it. I think when you've got more colors, though, it can make the crown look more spectacular.
And do you know, I love a crown, and a hat that has a marvelous crown will sell it for me. Me and Fizz are always talking about the crown of a hat. That is a spectacular design, and the fade is what made me want to do it for sure in those colours. So I'm looking forward to getting to that bit. But that's the hardest part of Fair Isle or colour work, isn't it? Is making sure the colours work and the saturation between the two of the contrast. Then it's more effective, isn't it? Right.
Choosing colours is really the key to it.
Tell us about your wool weekend. How are you coping? Because you're doing all. You're running a yarn shop and you're organising. This is not a little festival, like one day, like I thought it was going to be. It's a 3-day epic with workshops, guest speakers and everything. How are you coping?
It's actually 4 days.
Oh, my word. Does it start Thursday?
I made it a little bit longer. Well, I've been overseas and travelled and been to a few wonderful events, and I kind of thought in New Zealand we need to have more of these events as well. We always look overseas enviously, and it's quite a mission to travel overseas for events like that. So you've got to make sure you've got enough time to do other things when you're there. A friend of mine has an event in our southern city of Dunedin called Unwind. So the city's called Dunedin and her event's called Unwind. And she did her first one back post-COVID last year. And a month after she held it, she said, I'm only going to do this once every 2 years now. So I thought, hey, there's a gap in the calendar. I can do something as well. So that people could still have an event every year to go to. So I kind of thought, well, what can we do? And I came up with wairarapa wool weekend. And I've been to lots of events, and my only concern about some of them was that each year they became quite samey. It was the same people, it was the same teachers, It was pretty much the same schedule to them.
Understand.
So I thought, well, how can I make mine different? And so I thought with the wairarapa, we're a rural area built up of lots of small towns. So I thought to keep it unique, we could have it in a different town each time we hold it. And we're kicking off in Greytown, which is where I used to live and where my shop is now. And by having it in a different location each time, we can play with what the features of that town are. For example, we're going to have a tree planting ceremony because Arbor Day was first celebrated in Greytown in New Zealand. And then we're going to have an evening event on the Saturday night, which we're calling our gala dinner, not because it's a black tie event, but because the gala apple was bred and developed in Greytown. So we'll celebrate and acknowledge that. And so then the other part of it, which I mentioned before too, is I thought, what do we all have in common as New Zealanders? And apart from the Moriori who were here before the Māori, everybody has come here from somewhere else. So we've all got an immigrant story attached to us. And so I thought we should celebrate that. And so that each time we hold the event, we'll celebrate one part of the world or a country where people have immigrated to New Zealand from. And we'll acknowledge the craft they've brought with them.
Absolutely brilliant. What a great concept.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah. How are you? But it's great. It's wonderful when someone is so enthusiastic. We can see how enthusiastic you are. Do you know why not? Why not go for 4 days rather than 1 day? Because if you're going to do it,
it's kind of stretched out. It is stretched out. And when we were choosing a country, we originally thought we were going to do Scotland. And then we're thinking, who can we bring out as a tutor that everyone knows and will be really good? And we actually managed to secure Gudrun Johnston. And she was born on Shetland and is quite famous. She's done the series of books Shetland Trader based on her mother's business name from the 1970s. And she's coming out to be our keynote speaker and main workshop tutor. So because we got her, we thought, perhaps we should just make this specifically Shetland as opposed to Scotland in general. So we're quite excited about that. But our first day, the Thursday, is primarily a masterclass with Gudrun. So that's limited to 25 people, and we'll be learning all things Shetland with Gudrun. And in the evening, I've managed to get one of the local cafes the offering to stay open for our craft cafe session. So the cafe's got fantastic seating, it's got brilliant lighting, so we can just sit, and it's a licensed cafe too, so there'll be a little bit of a tipple there, and we can have beautiful food there.
Oh my word! I see. I just wish. I know we've got loads of festivals here. I can't complain. We've got yarn festivals. We've just had Farnham Maltings and Ravel. We have them all over the place. But that is something special that you organise. I would love to come to it. Maybe I'll have to save my pennies and come next year. So are you all
That's
right
once
though?
every 2 years, so
Oh yes, okay,
2027, Stuart.
okay. So you've got, yeah, that's a good idea. So you can put your feet up next year, can't you?
I'll need to.
Oh, but are you loving it though? Really? Are you really excited about it?
I am. It's going to be thrilling. And also, too, we've partnered with a local charity called Hospice Wairarapa, and they provide care to people at end of life, of course, but we're doing lots of things to raise money for them also. So it's quite fun that when you're a knitter, you are a part of the community, and we always like to give back to the community. So our fourth day, which wasn't going to be the fourth day, but then I brought it at the end, the venue I've hired for most of our events is actually one of our museums called Cobblestones Museum. And because it's a registration event for us, it's only the people coming to that are registered that can come to us for the first 3 days. But our fourth day, the Sunday, we're making an open day for the general public as well. So the museum will be open to anyone, and there's just a gold coin donation
Oh,
for entry, and that goes to our charity partner. But we're doing all sorts of other things as well. But there'll be a day to invite the general public in to see what fun we have at a fibre
oh.
festival.
Now, how are you going to be documenting this? Is it all on Instagram? Have you got some people doing it? Have you got a team, or is it just you going to be doing photos? Where can we find out more and follow it when it actually is, and during those 4 days?
Sure. If you go into, it depends which social medium you use, but on Instagram and Facebook, we've got Wairarapa Wool Weekend as groups.
Yeah.
So you can go on there and participate. And also the beanie itself has got separate sites as well. There's a knit along for the Te Hupanui beanie. So a few people are putting their pictures up on there. And one of your long-time viewers and shop customers, Jimbo Curtis, he's done the beanie as well. That looked great
He's
when he sent through the
finished
photograph
it.
for that.
It looks great. We're going to have that. So next month when we do it, I'll have mine finished, and we'll be celebrating. I think probably the start. What are your days? What are your days? Tell everyone what your days are for the Wool
March
Weekend.
20 to 23rd. But I'm just wondering if your Te Hupanui beanie might be in your works in progress episode next year.
Not at all. Viewers, I was just about to say how cool James's shirt is, but now I'm thinking of no compliment on me. How very dare you? Well, look, I'm nearly there. I'll do the wave. Then it's just another. Then it's just another a monkey plant to do, and then I'll be back at it. It will be there. It will be there, and James is will be in the gallery. Will hopefully we can get a special gallery of your say it again for me. Tuahuapui?
Yeah. Te Hupanui.
Tahupanui. That's it.
Yeah.
Tahupanui. Come on,
It's the
viewers.
Maori word for Greytown, the town where we're holding it.
I
So it's
love
the
it.
Maori name for the town where we're holding it. And it means the place of crying.
Oh, Fizz, are you going to do a Tahupanui? James, she said no because you haven't said hello, Mistress Fizz yet. So you better get on that keyboard. we need to finish our conversation so you can chat. I know you've got a busy day ahead. I think you're going to stay in the chat and we'll have a look at your messages because they always keep us going. Viewers, look at his shirt. Look at that lovely yarn behind you. Is that Spindrift I see there?
Yes, trying to get my finger pointing the right direction. Oops, close in.
And oh, there you go. And Fizz
Yeah,
and
that,
Fizz
that, that
says,
is that is Spindrift.
I love
And
it.
the other way is New Zealand's Ashford yarns.
And Fizz says, what's that on the back of your chair?
Oh,
Oh, look at that throne, everyone. I mean, just James to have a stunning throne. Oh, look at that. Ah,
that's my memory blanket. It's
oh,
a memory of all the colours I've ever hand dyed.
wow. You
Every
just
time
never.
I dye a new colour, I put one more rectangle into my blanket.
You never cease to amaze me, James. Give James a big clap for that shirt as well. I love it. But come on, everyone, get that to Hupanui pattern. Let's see if we can make our own gallery of all our own finished ones. And of course, share it. If you can go on Instagram and share something of so that you've got Instagram of the Wool Weekend, of the wairarapa, and you've got wairarapa, and you've got the Hupanui Instagram as well. So even if some of our viewers get sharing, or if you post a story and we share it, it's just about getting the word out, isn't it? I hope it helps in some way. Keep working hard, James. I can't wait to see what you create. We'll be following on Instagram. And I think we'll time our monthly show, our March monthly show, to hopefully tie in with some of the stuff that's going on. Whether you'll be way too busy. We'll probably check in afterwards when you got your feet up. But I'd like to perhaps show off some pictures of what's going on. It will be lovely. So thank you for giving us your time. I know the shop's closed today, isn't it? And you're doing paperwork, yeah?
No, I've got about 50 skeins of yarn to put into cakes.
Oh dear. Have you got a machine for that, or are you doing lots of twisting yourself?
I have got a machine, but you've still got to guide it and have your hand on it the whole time to look for any flaws in the yarn. So, yeah.
We will wish you luck. Cheers, James. Thank you so much for taking the time to dial in. The internet gods have been great to us. I can't believe the connection. We've obviously pulled that tin can wire nice and tight. Thank you, James, and all the best for your Wool Weekend at the end of March. And I can't wait to see more of it. We'll see you later. We'll let you go. See you. Cheery bye. Cheers, James.
Hi, Mr. Spears.
Oh, how good was that? Oh, thank you so much, James. I'm now going to make that poll. There we go. How great is start poll? How great is James's shirt? I love it. And that hat. I will get this finished. No problems. In Malavenum and blue. And I think I saw, what did that came up halfway through. Karen, what did Karen say? I'd stick with the blue background, Stuart, and have a white wave. Right, done. Yeah, Fizz said the same thing in my ear. Oh, say again, Fizz, what did you say? Yeah, blue background, white wave. Let's just have a quick look before we go to Guess the Year, which is coming up. I know you're eager. Valerie, pattern is stunning, isn't it? I saw it on Just Another Podcast. This is good, getting the word round. I so want to go to I know. We'll have to, we could all go on the plane together. That would be well cool, wouldn't it? Road trip, plane trip. Oh, hey, YouTube user, I do. We've got some. What's going on in the chat here? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Sounds like it's going to be a great weekend. Wonderful. Really good. Go give all his Instagram. He's doing it all himself. It is remarkable. And running a small bricks and mortar yarn shop and dyeing his own yarn too. And then organising a whopping 4-day event. Go give him some support. Right, now, you're going to like this. Guess the Year coming up, okay. So last Sunday, we had this a fun Finish It February, where I went through my whips. And we were talking about how many whips you've got. Well, my mum was also watching and doing work whilst I was in the background. She then went into her cupboard to look for her whips. And she found a very special whip, which we're going to look at now, because I saw her Monday and we were giggling over it. It's one of her oldest whips, and you can tell it's old because the Hobbycraft bag is sort of moth-ridden. It's all starting to disintegrate. So the idea is, how old do you think this whip is? My mum's. The volume down on that one, so I don't think I've burned your ears out. Sorry. Right, type it into the chat. Guess the year of this whip from my mum. How old do you think it is? How many years? When did she start it? Did she start it in 2020? Oh, blimey. Wowzers. 1982? I think the clue's in that printout there. We have printers like that. Margarita's going for 20 what's that? 2002. That's it. 2004, 1999. Look at the creases. Is that giving anything away? Bob's going for 1996. 1999, Jenny. Hey, Antonio, 92. Hey, Michael. Good to see you. What's the year? What do you think this year of this whip is? When did my mum start it? 2000? 2003. Jimbo. Papa's is going the 70s. Oh, you lot. You make me laugh. Julie's going for 2006. I can't talk tonight. I've been partying all weekend. That's why. 1986, says Terry. Good to see you, Terry. Probably 2006. Oh, right, yes. You could almost see the design of the website as well, can't you? On perhaps what period website design was. You can normally date it. And 1979. Karen, my oldest whip, I started in 2000 and it's still not finished. Well, this is going to be close, isn't it? Oh, you meant 1992. Okay. And Beatrice says 2018. Okay. This whip of my mum's that she found in the cupboard when she went a rummaging after watching me is 2015. Not as old as you lot were going. 10-year-old whip. And I said, no, come on, it's gone in the napile because you can see, look, you can see there in the background, the Hobbycraft bag. So those cats have not got their warmers at all. Fizz, what's your oldest whip? Did you count one? Not that old. All right, that's not bad. She said 4 years. She said 4 years old. That was a giggle. Okay, so Saturday at the shop, I had a very special guest pop in. Some of you may know her from our very, very early forms of the Woolpatch Show. It used to be called Woolly Wednesday because it was pre-recorded and released on a Wednesday. Let me show you this lady. Oh, look at her. Áine. Good old Áine. Can you remember Áine? I'm going to let's do a, where's my what's that poll? 100%. You all love James's shirt. Fabulous. Let's go. Start a new poll. Start a poll. Oh, I can hear Zachary outside. News on that front too. Ask a question. Can you remember Áine? There we go. Some of you have been watching right from the beginning. I know some of you are very, very new, so you may not know Áine at all. Áine is a very special person to me, the shop and the channel, because without Áine, I wouldn't be on YouTube, because she was the one that introduced me to the whole world of YouTube. When she came in with, I reckon, somewhere around 2016, 2017, as a customer, and we started to chat and talk about projects and things. And then over time, I started to get to know her. And then it just somehow popped out that she did YouTube. And I was like, what do you do on YouTube? And then this whole idea came apart that she presents her own show and does things. And then that started me going, oh, what is YouTube? And then I started watching YouTube and then found the Grocery Girls and thought, oh, knitting on YouTube is a whole new world of what they call podcasts, visual podcasts. of talking, and then that got my taste buds going, because as a teacher, I would often film school events, especially my drama plays, and then I would edit them, and I would do backstage videos and edit them and give them to kids, the kids in the show on a DVD. Look at that, that shows our age, isn't it? So they could watch the show back and watch all the backstage fun. So I know the power of video, but Áine was the one that sort of went, well, why don't we do our own knitting podcast? And in 2019, January 2019, the Woolpatch came to YouTube, and we did our own show. So I have Áine to thank for being here. Now, as time went on from 2019, we had COVID, so I then started doing my programs, still recorded. We were recording them, talking to the camera, and then editing them. I then started to take over, because I didn't know anything at first. She did most of it. And then I did it from a potting shed during COVID. And then 2023, Áine became pregnant. So took very much a back chat, of course, a backstop, because family came first and the little one came first. And that little one is now 1 year old, January this year. And she has started her next chapter, and that's to move back to Ireland with all her family and all the cousins for her little one. So Saturday was an emotional day. We had lots of cake. She was still knitting whilst I was just eating cake, and we said goodbye to her. But I thought you might like, if you can remember, and let's look at the poll. Yeah, see, look at that. Only 38% of you remember. I thought I would show you our first ever episode. Now, I've cut it up into little snippets. It's about 3 minutes long. The first 10 seconds, I tell you, are cringe-worthy. Fizz, can you remember the first show, Fizz? Absolutely. It was just Áine, yeah. She did. Jen came in, started doing the scrap journals. But yes, it started with me and Áine in the shop. And she had to lead the first episode, and even the first bit, because I started to introduce it. And you watch, you'll see it in the first 10 seconds. And then I didn't know what to say. So Áine cuts in and then takes over. So the first 10 seconds are really cringy. When I watch it back, I'm like, oh my word, how far I've come with confidence in front of the camera. It's very hard. But it's a fun little video, 3 minutes to watch, because you can see how good she is, really, and how fabulous she looked back then, because she did cool stuff with her hair. But have a laugh and a giggle at 3 minutes of Áine and her, and it's just a nice little memory of back to the first ever episode and what Áine did to start off our journey on YouTube. Have a giggle.
And welcome to the Woolpatch.
How are you all? Good to see you all again. Now, lots of things to talk about.
So this week we thought it would be fun to talk about us. As my first visit was the late night open night, and I popped in.
Was it?
Yeah. I'd visited that day, and then I popped in again.
Yeah.
Picked up a crochet class.
Yeah.
And then after that, I kind of got sucked in, and I was coming in at least once a week for a long time. That's lovely spring. You can make something nice for spring in that.
Would you believe in the French word? It's called printemps.
Excuse me.
Or printemps.
Oh. Right.
Which is spring, I think, in French. There they are, look.
Oh, looking fabulous.
Does it focus automatically?
If it's too much to focus on, it's an autofocus, so you do that to kind of block out my face, so that brings it.
Oh yes, look at that. Oh, it's gone again.
About knitting.
Didn't know what this looked good. What is it?
I'm working on a sleeveless jumper. My first. I'm very excited. So
this is
therapeutic, people. Having a rough day.
Yeah. Take all your anger out. Yeah. It could also be very painful if you miss the yarn and you stab your thumb.
So whenever I was making my blanket, I've been working on this blanket.
Oh, this is your crochet, yeah.
Yeah, this is my crochet. So whenever we were picking out the colours for that, we kept it quite basic.
Yeah.
So you can do the honours.
Yeah. This.
Two balls.
So this stitch.
I kind of wanted earthier tones to work in our living room.
And that is huge.
Yes. So it keeps on going and going and going.
Being on the beach, so I can have my pecs out.
Stuart doesn't get his pecs out.
Drape, or you can. I've got a silly game here.
Oh, I hope you're ready, people.
This book is fabulous. A stitch that's in the knitting world or not.
Okay.
So so you're saying knit or not? Is it a knit stitch or not?
I got this. I got this.
So
a knit or not a knit?
If you get it wrong.
Oh.
And if you get it right. Moss stitch.
Knit. Oh, I'm getting good at this.
Fisherman. Is it a knit or a not a knit?
I'm going to go not a knit. Oh, it's a knit.
Yeah. Medallion.
Knit. Oh. So.
Well, there we are.
I'm just going to put this down. So that is it for this episode.
Indeed. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes. Definitely.
So I suppose that's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a million for watching.
Yeah. Cheers.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Good luck on you. Have a whale of a time back home with family. Very, very happy memories. That look at me. I look like I'm 10. Oh, and how embarrassing was that first introduction? And I just didn't know what to say. Good old Áine came in. That was episode 1. I think we did a good, and we did it fortnightly then. We were in the shop. I would like to be back in the shop, but there is so much tech here. It just couldn't be in the shop, but there was something about the recorded podcast. So what I'm planning to do is with this little Christmas present, I need to do what Áine taught me. Get it out of... Can you see it yet? Can you see it? I can take this in and I can do more recording at the shop rather than taking the big behemoth of the camera off its tripod and the monitor and everything, and just that's a lot of faff. I could take this into work and record more in the shop and have some little segments, because it would be lovely to see the shop. And it's one of the things I miss most about those early videos, is it was fun being in the shop. And there is something about doing a show with another person. The grocery girls, look at the needles at the Ready Boys. There is a different dynamic, isn't there, when there's two of you. They were great. They were great days. And you could see right from the beginning, I think it might be the DJ in me, I do like to do some little games. And they've been sort of dotted throughout the production, from going from recorded to live. I do like the live interaction, though. It is great fun. And look, yeah, Julie, what lovely memories. I know you've been there right from the beginning. I know. I think I need... My cheeks are a bit too chubby. I've been on the gym, the bulk for too long. I think I need to go onto a cut, actually. So that's nice. Oh, yes, wasn't it? Absolutely. And that's one thing I remember about Áine. Giggles and some, little fun things, innuendo maybe. Julie says, the knit or not? I know. Should bring it back. Should we bring it back? What is it? The DJI Osmo. I'm not good with the terminal. Osmo Pocket 3. So it's great. Happy memories. If you want to, you can go back and find those. Yeah, just keep trawling through the recorded under videos, not under the live section, and have a giggle. I'm not going to delete them because it's a nice history to see how we've changed, how the shop's changed, and how sort of the world has changed too. Because some of those the lockdown videos, that's cultural moment in time there in my potting shed. It's fascinating. So yes, happy memories, but I thought you'd like to see that, especially those who did know Áine. So you still got me, I'm afraid. But that said, you have got me and Jimmy. Shameless plug before I move on. Our new podcast has started. Good old Jimmy. Jimmy Does Knitting and Me. Yeah, it came out. Some of you have heard about it. Every week, every Thursday, it gets released. And and we are just answering your questions, and it's straight in questions, no chit chat, nothing about what we did at the weekend or what you did, or what hobbies, other hobbies you're doing. It's just straight in. If you want to send us questions, you can. I think Fizz has got the link. Oh, I don't think I prepared you for that though, Fizz. Oh, done it already. You can send us your questions and we will answer them. We've pre-recorded 3 shows so far, and would you believe H&H Cologne is coming up, Europe's biggest, largest wool and fabric trade show for us shops, and Jimmy's going too. So we're going to try and plan to see if we can do a live, because they have a special influencer content creation area. So we're going to try and meet up, because he's going and I'm going, end of March. Oh no, it's not end of March at all. It's 2 weeks, Fizz. Would you believe? I know. And we'll do some filming, but I think we're going to try and do an impromptu live where we're both there, and we might even answer some questions too. So that's coming up. As for whips, my agreed whips, that if you didn't catch last Sunday's show, just checking my list here. Fizz has put them on the schedule. My lava lamp quilt block, I'm going to finish. My Tahupanui. Oh, Fizz is good. Look at this, everyone. Look at this. Hoopanui. Brilliant. I should just read more, shouldn't I? My Hoopanui. My Revelry vest, I'm going to finish. I've done all those extra rounds, and my Winslow. And if you want to find more about this whole idea of finish it February, it's Roxanne Richardson. Go to her channel. And as Valerie says, give her a like and a subscribe and whatnot. Right. Gallery coming up. Some cracking makes. Here's your chance to just slow down a bit. We're only about 15 minutes behind. Nothing new there. I know. Time to slow down the pace and put your work in progress down. Put your knitting down, put your crochet down, whatever it is you're doing. Get your drink, get your cuppa, your hot chocolate, your coffee, whatever it is. Fizz, what are you drinking? She's finished it. Cold coffee. Whatever it is, enjoy the next 3 minutes. I loved putting this together. And you'll see some, look out for Patrick, Textilian Studios. He's got his own pattern there, which you'll love towards the end. That's going to look a stunner. I'm going to find the right button to press for the gallery. Otherwise, we're going to go into something completely hideous. And enjoy 3 minutes of watching. What will inspire you? What caught your eye? Pop it in the chat after you've watched the gallery. Fabulous. Wasn't it amazing? Some stunning makes there. Michael in the brownstone. What a classic. What do we call those? Are they cowl collars, we call those? Reminds me, I think I had quite a few of those in the 80s. Was that an 80s thing? Looked great. Fizz has been putting all the links in there, so if any of those patterns inspired you, you can just click the link there. Rob and his socks. I've not seen colour striping like that. That's phenomenal. With the black in between those colour ones, ooh, that looked good, didn't it? A shawl collar, we say it. Not a cowl, a shawl collar. Thanks, Jimbo. Ryan, looking good in that. And Gary, stunning cowl. Go and have a look on Urban Yarn Gary on his Instagram. I think that's a good one to put on the list of things to make too. And of course, Patrick at the end there at Textilian Studios, his own pattern. Please take time to go and check him out on Ravelry and maybe purchase it if that was your thing. He's a designer, which I didn't know about. It's great finding our viewers not only watch and knit, but they are designers themselves. So many of our viewers are. Hope that was nice, inspiring. Nice to see a ranunculus in a different version. Hey Fizz, what colour could do? Right. Shall we see what patterns bring you joy? I love this little feature. 2 patterns each time we do the Woolpatch Show, submitted by you about a pattern that you just love and why, and we want to hear about it. And Scott's got in touch and he has told us for him a pattern that brings him joy is the glow hair frost shawl. I've seen it. It looks phenomenal. I nearly did it over Christmas. It just looked a perfect mixture of beautiful stitches and simple knitting and not too sort of complicated. And I thought, I might do it, but I did something else. I did a crochet pattern. But anyway, Scott says, yes, the glow hair frost shawl. Why does it bring you joy? He says, I finished it in just over 2 weeks. I couldn't put it down. There is a lot of lace, yet it is really easy to knit and also very engaging. And while the pattern calls for holding fingering and mohair together, I only used fingering weight and had fun playing with my colour changes. Among my top 5 of shawls I've knit, hands down. There you go. So couldn't ask for more. If you were interested in doing a Stephen West pattern, maybe that's the one. Should we take a look at it? Yeah, you see, I just like that. Just beautiful. And the colours, of course, make a huge impact. He had this colourway and an aqua colourway on Stephen West's Ravelry page. Wonderful. Right, pattern number 2. 2 patterns each time we do the Woolpatch Show. Valerie, our very own Valerie, who's here as we speak, submitted and says the Tartalita by Samba Knits, otherwise known as Beatrice Rubiog. Why does it bring you joy? They say it is super fun to knit and it fits perfectly. The instructions are clear, nothing difficult, and it's sad that designs are more popular. Well, there you go. Right, we've got to make them popular. Spread the word. It's nice when you come across a new designer and you're like, oh, they're not that big, but they're so cool. And you're part of their early success, and then you watch them grow and grow and grow. So there we are, 2 patterns that bring them joy. Let us know. The form, the Fizz will put the link in, and just let us know what pattern. Just submit one. If you want to submit 2 or 3, you can do. But we just want to know some people just have a pattern that they do over and over again. They just love it. And what it is about that, is it because the pattern was so easy? Was it because it just, the stitch pattern, the repeat maybe, just made it just so you couldn't put it down, like having a good book? Let us know. It's a very short form. It's just 3 things I think you've got to put in there. Very similar to the short form for our podcast. Now, what's so good about the podcast is that it's audio and visual. So if you like listening to podcasts in the car on the way to work, that's me, then you can search Spotify and we will appear. Sometimes when I was testing it, you might have to put untangled and start writing knitting, because would you believe there are many podcasts called Untangled? But as soon as you put knitting, it should appear. If not, search the Woolpatch and boom, the yellow picture there will appear in the search. But also we record using this software. So we then push that recording to YouTube so you can watch us. But just know it is an audio podcast. I might bring something home, or Jimmy might show something. I might bring something home from the shop and show, but we're not doing it for a visual show. If by chance, to say we have something handy, then I'll show it. But it's mainly talk, a question and answer. Send us a question in and we'll answer it. But I know many of you like having knitting content, then it just adds to your knitting content. You can put us on in the background, and then you can look at us every now and again if you want to, if that's your thing. You can then listen to the answers. As I say, it's just simple question answer. There's no other stuff going on. Right. I went away last weekend, would you believe? Whilst Zachary the cat was having, he was radioactive. Did I tell people that Zach was radioactive, Fizz? I can't remember. So Zach the cat that we've got, it was one of 3 brothers, but we lost 2, so he's now on his own, 16 years old, was getting a bit like hyper and running around a bit. And I've seen this too many times in old cats that we rescue, because we always rescue old cats, that we thought, right, his thyroid is obviously not working properly. We need to get this sorted. So yes, we had it all checked out, and yes, it was a little higher. So it was on its way to, conking out, or whatever thyroids do. So that meant giving him Thyronor morning and night, just a small amount. Now, in some cats that we've had, they have been so wonderful. We could just hold them and just go and put it in their mouth. Some, like Poppy that we had, she would just have to have it on her food. And we just thought, well, we can't do this again with Zach. So we looked at this new treatment where you can have them injected with radioactive iodine. And it cures 98% cure rate. The only thing is, when he has the injection, he has to be in complete isolation for 2 weeks because he's radioactive. So we took that as a chance to have a little holiday away whilst he was away having a spa treatment. And if any of you have watched Bridget Jones, we have a giggle about having a mini city break, Fizz. Yeah, mini break. Well, we went for a little mini city, well, we can't call it city break because it was a town. And I chose a lovely town called Cirencester. Now, I say lovely because it's based on my 10-year-old me. When I went with my grandparents, we would always go in the caravan all round to the local caravan club sites as a kid, and we would do loads of them in my youth. And I remember Cirencester because it's the Cotswolds. We loved that area. My grandparents loved that area, and remember it well. But I can't remember much about it. So I said, well, let's go there. Well, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Now, I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to just show you a little clip. But when you look at the little, 3 minutes montage I took some footage, you'll go, your mouth will drop. You're like, no, what are the chances of that? Because I did not know this, swear. But it was like, what? I've just come from Long Melford to Cirencester, and it was like, I was almost in the same place again. Take a look at this and you'll completely understand why. Amazing. Who knew it was another wool town? I didn't know at all, honestly. And then I was driving and we were like, Sheep Street. Oh. And I started. And of course, then staying in the Fleece. What a hotel. Stunning hotel. And then I was like, I've got to explore. Because we were just, for a couple of days away, having a little break, coffee, eating, not much else, walking. I was like, but there's wool stuff. Then coming across the wool market, and then that beautiful statue, and then Dyer Street. And then I started Wikipediaing and everything, and then realizing that there were wool merchants, famous wool merchants, and their houses are buried in and around that area. And then they've got the blue plaques everywhere. When I started finding these, I've got to record some of this and tell everyone. Amazing. And then the park, that beautiful. It goes on for miles, so we only did a little part of it. Beautiful. And then, of course, the colour of the bricks all around Cirencester, like the Lake District, where they use the same colour bricks. Let's have a look at the poll of who has gone there. Have you been to Cirencester? 10%, 9%, yes, 91%. Well, there we are, 91% of you. Get going. beautiful. The Cotswolds is what did I read an article? It's the Hollywood of the celebrities here. Many are moving to the Cotswold areas. All these celebrities. It is beautiful. Some stunning walks and places to go. But there you go, Wool Town. Another Wool Town like Long Melford, Lavenham, Clare, Sudbury, and Hadley. Speaking of Hadley, this year's collection, I got a text from our farmer, Roz again. We're going with the same farm, but we're using more sheep, and we've got 4-ply this year. And what did she text? Let's just have a quick look. It was literally yesterday. Roz Sheep Lady in my phone. Hi Stuart, just heard from the mill and the wool is ready. Well, we won't say about that because everything's going up, isn't it? And he said it's come out really well. Had it spun 4-ply, as you said. Yeah, because we do love 4-ply, don't we? And it's lovely, as mostly, now you're going to be the first to hear this, mostly lamb's wool. Can you remember all those little lambs? Well, they've obviously had their first shearing, and Roz had a huge flock last year for our double knit first Hadley collection. We had about 40 to 50 sheep, which gave us 80 hanks. Well, how many hanks did I say? Did I say how many hanks, Fizz? You ready? 60 last year. Okay, we're going to go higher. Put your numbers in the chat. How much higher than 60? 4-ply. So 4-ply generally does, go further anyway, doesn't it? Bigger yardage. How many? Because you're going to love it. And mostly lamb's wool. So and if the mill is saying he likes it, that makes me happy too. Let's have a little guessing game. We're going to go into the charts and then we'll finish off. To me, it is indeed. It is a Roman town. And you've got the walls there and some buildings still left over and I can't remember the posh name for it. Right, okay. Jenny says 124. Antonio, 102. Karen, 120. Sue's going for 86. Bob's 150. I'm loving this. 92. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I feel like Bruce Forsyth there. We have got... he spun it in 4-ply, as you said, and should be lovely as it's mostly lamb's wool. I have 132 hanks. Woo! Double. Might have to take out this little mortgage to pay. Oh dear. That's going to be amazing. And each year our collection always sells out. I had some customers come in last week and they were tourists because it's been half term here wanting lavender and blue, and it's looking so bare at the moment because it's been so cold, and I need to get dyeing inside, and that's going to be a journey for next year, which I will take you all on because there's not long left of the lease. So 132 lavender and blue lamb's wool hanks coming your way. That's going to be... how many fleece is that? It is, I think it's almost double because they've got 80 to 100 sheep, Sue. Normally I only do 30 to 40 sheep because that in itself is a big bill from the mill. I know, right? Absolutely. I'll be dyeing for many days, many Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm sure. So it's going to be wonderful. Right, are we all ready for the charts? And yeah, go down, if you want somewhere nice to go to Cirencester and book in the fleece. Because did you like that room? Lovely. Champagne. Bubbly on arrival too. Right, Fizz, what should we do first? Do you want to do crochet charts? Crochet as always, she says. Yeah. Okay, so you know this by now. If you're new to the program, each Sunday we look at Ravelry Hot Right Now of crochet and knitting, and we take a snapshot of the top 10, and we do it every week. And we then have lots of data to build up to look at the end of the year. In fact, we're coming to week 10. And 11. Maybe next, in a couple of weeks, we could do a little chart show, Fizz, where we perhaps talk about some of the data we've got, show off any patterns, because there are a couple different from last year that are appearing and that keep appearing, aren't there? Especially in the knitting charts. And we just take a look at what's hot right now. What are people looking at? Oh, go on, say again, Fizz. Ooh. There are 9 free patterns in the knitting charts. Wow, okay. In all the charts, I beg your pardon, in all the charts, okay. And do you know which ones are free? Do you? Brilliant, okay. Okay, in the crochet, it's 7, 4, 3, and 2. So let's take a look at the crochet charts then. See what everyone is looking at right now in the crochet charts. Yeah, that's it. It's that conversation again, isn't it? Having it free on release does make a difference, doesn't it? Getting the eyes on and getting you to the top of the charts and looked at. A very, very handy technique. Did you like anything there? It's interesting that what was number 1 last week gone down to number 2, but that's still a long while in the crochet charts, because normally the crochet charts vary a lot during a day, let alone over a week. So to see that still in the top is interesting. What did anyone like there? Dinky says, I liked 7 and 8. The jumper is cool, wasn't it? Yeah. And Judith, whoop whoop to the lavender and blue. Do you do pre-order? We do indeed. Excuse me. YouTube is kind of my version of the email newsletter. Many of you have signed up to our email newsletter, and you might, if you're lucky, you get one a month. This is much more fun. I like putting my energy into YouTube rather than writing an email. And I use YouTube as my way of telling what is coming up and when, for example, the lavender and blue is released. It will be done on pre-orders because that kind of helps pay the big bill from the mill. And then I can start dyeing. What tends to happen with the pre-order is around April time. And then I get dyeing, and then it normally is, by the time we've got the posh tickets and the postcards from the printers, it tends to then be released August, somewhere in the summer when the tourists are all about too. But you always get told first, and if you're a YouTube channel member, you get told first too. You get pre-order as a channel member. That's your perk, my little way of saying thank you. Is Sleeping Dragon is free, is it? Oh, yeah, that's probably why then too. Excuse me. Yeah, the blanket did look lovely. Yeah, it looks so cute on the picture too, doesn't it? Right, let's go for the knitting chart, shall we, Fizz? Okay. Yeah. 3 patterns are 10, 9, 4, 3, and 1. But don't worry, Fizz is all. I think you put it in the chat anyway, don't you? Does it say? Oh yeah, of course she does. It says 3 on there too. So you can see. Here we go. Let's look at the knitting charts. Fabulous. I do love looking at the crochet, the knitting charts, but it's the step-by-step sweater that is, we joking say that like our new ranunculus, the one that's always in the chart. But it has been in the chart a lot this year already, hasn't it, Fizz? Yep. She's going to now go into her data, lots of spreadsheets, while I show you, as another taster, just to remind you, some of you have seen this already, but it's taken a lot longer to get to sale than expected. So this is, can you remember that lovely alpaca I told you about? Yeah, well, this is it still. Look, and this is 5 skeins of, this is from Radiance, Supreme Champion. This is from Hilly Ridge Alpaca. This alpaca, it's so nice. And each, I've got, how many did I dye? 5, 10, 15, 20. There are 25 hags. These are the... Is there anything higher than Harrods in the shop supermarket world? Well, if you could get one higher than Harrods, it would be this. Here are another 5. These are... this is Monty. This is Monty's alpaca. 5 skeins. 5, I went and chose 5 alpacas. And right, we'll have that fleece, we'll have that fleece, we'll have that fleece. And each alpaca went to a special designated mill in Norwich. Now, for those in the UK, Norwich is incredibly close, really, in the world of yarn, because a lot of things is up in Yorkshire. But it's a specialist alpaca mill. Now, that does mean it's going to be a little bit more expensive because you're paying for pure alpaca. It's not going to be contaminated by any type of sheep wool at all because they only deal with alpaca. But they do one fleece at a time. So we know who these are. Now, the reason why these have been taking so long, because I dyed these last year and I did tease them, but we've been trying to get nice tickets for them and postcards for them. And I did want presentation boxes, but it just kept pushing the price up and up and up and up and up. So I've ditched the presentation boxes, but we do have nice postcards. So if you choose to invest in Monty, you'll get a little postcard with Monty's picture on and everything. So we've got loads. So if you are a channel member, you will get first dibs on the alpaca. And I know each time I say this, Fizz goes, yay, because that's me, because she's had her eyes on that alpaca for nearly a year now. And then it goes to general YouTube members before it goes to my shop, because that's the whole point of YouTube. So there you go. So if you like alpaca and you like the Lavender and Blue 2025 collection, just keep watching. It will all be announced on YouTube every month as we do our Woolpatch Show. You won't miss it. And you can then go on to YouTube and catch up at your heart's content, because I know not all people watch live because of the way it fits with their schedule. Sunday evening for or Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning for others. They're all doing other things. So I know many of you watch on catch up too. Now, speaking before we finish, because we will finish in a little while. What's Karen say? Oh, Die With a Smile is lovely, and I feel the need for a new hat for dog walking. So feather cap might have to be. It was a lovely pattern, wasn't it? I'm not sure you call. Oh no, true. Is it department store? It's the top wall. Yeah, that you probably need a small mortgage for one hand, let alone 5. Now, last week's video, I got lots of feedback on how much they enjoyed it. I know many of you watch podcasts where people are just chatting away with no pre-planning and no pre-production. I know this show is quite unique. But that's what makes the Woolpatch, isn't it? Defines us from everyone else. But many of you did comment on how much you loved the chilledness, where we just did chat. There was a topic and sort of a story to the show, but there was no pre-production or anything like, our classic hour show. So I need to do a poll just to say, would you like more of those? Start a poll. Before we finish, would you like more of last Sunday's show? And I know that means nothing if you didn't watch last Sunday's show, but this is mainly for the people in the live. Because we can do it, because obviously it takes no pre-planning, and I don't have to take any more of Fiz's time up with a technical rehearsal to check things, to plan things, to time things, because we could just rock up on a Sunday evening or whenever you want, because some of you watch on catch up, and we can just do another show. A bit like all the other knitting podcasts, like, the Grocery Girls and Needles at the Ready. Obviously it's me on my Todd, but when you join in the chat, like last Sunday, it was great fun. We covered many a topic, didn't we? The chat was electric, like it has been tonight too. It's lovely. Do love your company. We've got 36 people watching here. Should we press the add button? Should we press the add button, Fizz? Oh. You did end today, but it depends on our day is nearly ended, so maybe it's depends on where they are, because your day has just started, hasn't it? It's where's my mouse gone? I've got so many screens. YouTube user says, come on, add us. Okay. It's never, no, it's not, is it? Because you're all here. But there is something about those days with Áine. But then that was pre-recorded. So it's a different thing. There is something cool about live, isn't there? How good was that technology as well? Dialing into New Zealand. It just blows me away, that does. Push a button, he dials in, sounds all there. I don't know how, it didn't seem stuttery at all. Maybe a bit out of sync with the lips, but didn't matter, did it? Did you notice anything, Fizz? Oh, I'm going to add you. All right, good. He was too busy looking at James's shirt. I shall test you later, Fizz, on what you know about the to a hoop. Oh, I lose the rhythm. Tuhupanui. Yeah, right, pressing the add button now. I've just pressed the add button. Who gets an ad? Right. Well, look at that. Did everyone? 17 votes, and you all said yes. I wouldn't have minded if you said no, but look at that. That's nice to know, isn't it? Toronto is 5 hours behind. Oh yeah, you see, so you've still got more of your day to go. Oh, do you think? You charmer, you. Bob, oh, you got an ad for don't talk to me about goat's cheese. On my last 3 days of non-stop eating, as we had friends up. Oh, God, I ate so much. Ate out Friday night, ate out Saturday night after. Oh no, I had cake with Áine and Ting as Ting came over. Ate out Friday night. Breakfast, big breakfast out as well. But I did have cheese and biscuits too. So I had a 3-course meal and then finished with cheese and biscuits and the goat's cheese. Fizz, you got Bernat blanket yarn, did you? Karen says, I have friends in Australia. They are already in Monday. Yeah, well, Kiwi James, he was ringing in at, 8 a.m., wasn't it? Starting Monday. What have we got? We've got little time left. Going to get laying in the morning. Who's got to get up early? I got Nordic Spirit. Well, it's fascinating, isn't it? You do have some control of what ads are shown. I think I've ticked off almost all of them because I just don't want any old thing showing. So I probably could have loads of ads showing, but I've said restrict. But there's no option for crafty ads. There's plenty of options for health and beauty and for alcohol and things. Purdy and Fig and Oodie ads popped up for me. I always get up early. You've been at 5 a.m. Oh, though I am a morning person. Give me a get up for a coffee and a posh breakfast any day rather than an evening meal at 7 o'clock when you start to flag at 9. I've had the Knitting Network the last 2. Oh, right. Perhaps they do. Perhaps the algorithm does. We shall see. Well, there we go, Fizz. That's a nice resounding yes for another show. So what we might then start doing is we trialled a little while ago doing every fortnight a channel members only show and then the Woolpatch Show. But I think what works well now is doing 2 live shows for everyone, but our channel members gets perks. You get your perks rather than having a show to yourself. You get your perks with having in advance stuff or special offer coupons, which that one is yours. Remember those Zauber balls? If you want a crazy Zauber ball, 30% off. They should be £17, but channel members, you get them for 12. So yeah, a little treat there for you. And that one is... Have I got that one here? No, is it that one? Might be that one. Don't know. But there you are. That's your treat. Well, thanks everyone. I think the hour show is now regularly turning into an hour and a half show. But love it. Always, as always, love your company. And we will then see you for an informal show in a couple of weeks' time. For here, it's time for peanut butter and a cup of tea before going to bed. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Get those whips going. Finish it February. This will be... I can guarantee on the head properly for the 8 o'clock pips for the end of March when we do the monthly show. That will be lovely. Get your 2 Hoopanuis going. Let's see if we can get a gallery. We've already got Jimbo's in the gallery, and then mine. If you like colour work, go on. Lovely to have your company. I shall press the button for the closing credits. where we get to see our channel members too. Thank you, channel members. It's great. And the numbers are going up and up, as well as our subscription numbers. Lovely to have your company. Supports bricks and mortar shop like mine. It's a world of good of YouTube. World of good. Have a great weekend. Oh, no. Have a great week. And see you in a couple of weeks' time. Cheers all. Thanks, Fizz. See you. Bye.